There we go. Hello, everybody. Might help if I plug my camera in. Hello. Hi, Diane. How are you today? Let's move some things out of the way. I did not have my camera plugged in. Hi, Tracy. How are you doing? We'll let everybody find us for just a moment. And don't forget, if you are watching from Facebook, hello, Sally, and you'd like to have your name show up on the Facebook stream, it's because Facebook doesn't allow an outside stream program like I'm using to have your comment show up unless you give permission. So just click on the blue StreamYard and you're good to go. So I made this project after watching, I watched Backyard Dahlia, and they're a really cute group of mom and daughter, and they were making, the tiers. So I thought I need this for my 3 tiers in the kitchen. And what better paper than the Authentique Cottontail? It's so cute. I used the brown artisan cardstock and then just some things from my stash. And you can get this crimped paper everywhere. I like it better than Easter grass. So what we're going to make is our little wagon. And I wanted to, hi, Ann, a couple things about the wheels. These were some, actually, I had in my stash. They're made out of chipboard from an old project years ago. You can pick them up, though, in your local scrapbook store, Hobby Lobby, Joann's in wood, and you just paint them. So I've painted the second set, and you can't really see on camera. Wink Stella is hard to see, but I did glitter them up with Wink Stella. So these wheels are going to be a little bit sparkly. And then some brads. You can also just glue them on. Hi, Sandy. So you don't have to, and you can cut circles. If you have a circle punch in 2 different sizes, you can cut them and layer them. You want about 5 layers, so it's nice and strong. And then I will be getting the Cadbury eggs to stick in here to put on my counter in my little tier. But this measures 4 inches wide and 4 inches all around, basically. So it's really a cute size, but it's also great for just displaying on your countertops. And I want to show you a couple of things with this. So here I cut down the cut apart. There's 2 sheets of cut apart. There is not 2 sheets of cut apart. You get 2 sheets of cut aparts in a collection kit and your paper pad. So I used, okay, maybe I am going to see now. There are 2 sets of cut aparts. Sorry, there are. You have some that have the 4x6 that are just adorable to put on wood blocks. Look at that. So these are going on wood blocks, and they're actually going in the spare bedroom because I need to keep this one out year round. It's just gorgeous. And here are the other. You'll have the Hello Spring and the Happy Easter. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Annette. So I used from this sheet on this one. But from this sheet, let me show you. I'm going to be using the bunnies and the Easter eggs. This is what we're going to do to our basket. We're actually going to fussy cut them out again. I've Wink of Stella them so they're nice and shiny. And I did it about 3 times with my Wink of Stella pen. So your Wink of Stella pen is just what adds a little bit of glimmer. And we're going to put this on the front of our cute little flower wagon. This is going to be the front. And so I did fussy cut the eggs out, which are going this way. But we're going to turn them this way so it looks like it's down here with the Easter bunnies. So those I did fussy cut beforehand because it would have it doesn't take long. Just get your fine point scissors and start cutting. But I wanted to show you how we're going to be decorating them and how you can use these cut aparts different. To get started, you'll want a piece of cardstock, and I like the artisan. And I'm going to use light blue this time because I chose to use the basket weave print with those darling, look at those darling bunnies on the other side. But I'm going to use the light blue with this one. And you just need 1 12x12 sheet for our little cart. Then you're going to want some scraps of your choice to make the little handles. You can even get creative and go out there and get some sticks. You can do all kinds of fun things. So we're going to start, and we're just going to score our 12 by 12. And I'm going to cut this down just a hair because it looks like it may be just a little bit longer than 12. So let me see if it needs to be trimmed. Sometimes it does. Yes, happy Wednesday. I love Wednesdays and Fridays. With your 12 by 12 in your scoreboard, so this is nice and square, it won't matter. We're going to score at 3/4 of an inch. Oh, and this box, you can make this without wheels. You could put legs on it. You can also just, you'll see, you can leave it without. So you don't have to put wheels on your card. 3/4 of an inch. 4, 8, and 11 1/4. We're going to do the same thing. Hi, Judy. I was cleaning yesterday. We're going to do the same thing now on the other side. So 3/4 of an inch. 4, 8, 11 1/4. Hello, Deb. So that's what your box looks like. And we're going to do some cutting. See that your center of boxes? We're going to keep these outside 3/4 inches. We're going to cut the 2 bottoms and 2 tops. Just from one side. It doesn't matter what. Hi, Nancy. It doesn't matter what size you pick. What side you pick. Just know that the center, these center pieces right here, and I'm sorry, I got some weird lines, don't I? Center right here will stay intact. So we're going to cut off these edges. Now, when you cut this, don't miter your edges either. We'll be doing some mitering if we need to, but don't miter. Just cut this 3/4 of an inch up to that first score line, or put that in your cutter. And let's cut it off just down the center of your score line. Hi, Debbie. And let's do the same thing. Remember, we want to leave this. That's going to be what's folding over our basket. Or our cart. So I want you to turn now just to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing. Straight up. And straight up. If you have a Cricut, Silhouette, any one of those cutting machines, you can cut some wheels. And especially if it'll cut your lightweight chipboard. Now, we're going to now cut up these score lines, but here's the thing. This score line really is not necessary except for this middle, but we're not cutting it. So just leave it. You're not even going to know it's there. We're going to paper over the top of it, but we're not doing anything with it. It just made scoring a lot easier to go all the way around our cardstock. Turn now to your opposite side. Hello, everybody. And go straight up to that middle square. And again, straight up to the middle square. Now, Cottontail has been out. So I know the local scrapbook stores have Cottontail. And you'll want to grab it because it's absolutely adorable. And if you can't find it at your local scrapbook store, you can always visit Country Craft Creations because I have it in stock. So this middle piece, it'll be important, but we're going to kind of ignore it for now. And we're going to fold our score lines and burnish them and throw your scoring tool. So I'm going to grab my center and just fold over all 3 edges. And we're just scoring the boxes, basically. Not scoring, burnishing those boxes. I see a lot of happy faces. Some Cricut Joys arrived. Oh, you can make so many fun things for your Easter carts and baskets and Easter eggs using Authentique's paper. You're going to love your Cricuts. Okay, let's do some cleaning up, which means we want to clean up some edges. So when we fold our sides in, you're going to see if anything sticks over. Hi, darling. And we want to just keep a straight line. Remember those straight lines that are important when making boxes? And then we're going to trim off. No, that one's fine. Anything that is sticking over any of our edges, that will take away from the neatness. No, that one's fine. And everything else looks good. Now, I am going to clean up a little bit my score line. If you have a bump there from that score line, and then miter in, just clean it up a little bit. Nothing, you don't have to do drastic. And if you cut a little off, it's okay because we are going to be covering this all with paper. But if it's going to be like this one's quite obnoxious, so I'm going to trim it. No, you don't have to throw your tools today, or you can fold everything over. It's just, I can't keep a hold of anything today. There, because you can see if it needs to be cleaned up. Okay. And as always, I like to mat everything before we put it together. But first, let's turn it over. These 2 and these 2. So you have 4. You're going to ignore these outside edges. So we're going to fold these back. So we can get those ready. Just the centers. And I'm going to do something a little different that I wanted to do. Hi, Donna, that I wanted to do, but I did not do on this one. I wanted to rough up this edge, but I didn't last night. So what I'm going to do now is do that. Might be easier from this side. I'm just going to take my scissors. I want it to look more weathered. Or if you've got a tool that will do some of that distressing. Hi, Sam. Hello, Renee. So I just want to, and this is also a really cute, actually quick project. If you want to leave the wheels off and you need a make and take for Easter. And it's one you could do with the family or kids or a craft night. These are new, so they're nice and sharp. They're working so awesome. And I'm only doing those 4 outside edges. Love the light blue paper with the browns. Pretty messy when you do this, yes. But next, let's go ahead. And I'm just using my potting soil color on that edge. Like I said, I wanted more of a wooded look. On the original one, I used our brown artisan cardstock. Okay, that's all. And got some dogs up there fighting. I already know that I'm going to be adding, this is just some little pom-poms I had in my stash, but it's a lot easier now because I just attached them with score tape. So it really is a lot easier. Ooh, got some dogs fighting. Across the top where I want to put those pom-poms. I'm going to add it right now. If you're using a glue, of course you'll wait. Yeah, the video will stay recorded right here in Authentique. And it's right in the video file, so you'll be able to access this anytime. So we know that's ready, and that's going to hang over this edge. So simple. We're going to bring these two sides together, and this one will come up. So that's one thing to check. This tends to be a little bit wider, so I'm going to miter these corners. Mainly with this little project, you just have some cleaning up to do. And it's going to be on the outsides. Because we don't want that, see, sticking over the top. But we're going to hide it with some little embellishment if you don't want to. So once again, it's going to be these outside edges. And they will be hidden with our paper. So don't worry about it being straight or perfect. No one will see it. Okay. And of course, I like to mat before I put it. I like to mat it while it's flat. So I'm going to take a pencil and kind of hold it together and mark my spots. So I know that's the piece I want to mat. And of course, these opposite ends. So I don't have to mark those. I will mat that one. Or you can wait and mat it after. We're going to mat the inside, bottom, and the outside. So let me give you those sizes. I did cut mine and already inked these. This was left over from the plaid, which has the polka dots that are so cute that are going in the bottom of my box. So this one is, these two, top and bottom, are 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. But then you need 8 because you're going to want 4 for the inside and 4 for the outside. These are 3 7/8, but they're only 3 1/8 tall because of our quarter or 3/4 inch here. And you want 8 of those. So I'm going to put bunnies on the inside, baskets on the outside. And I'm going to start by putting this inside one on the bottom. That's 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. And you need just 2 sheets of your pattern paper. And you probably won't even use it all. Just, I think I ran short of just one square. Try to cut into another one. And I'm going to put one on the back side so that it is for strength. And it is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. That's good. Okay. Now our outside pieces again, it's just these 4 with your 3/4 inch. They are 3 7/8 wide by 3 1/8. Let me fix that. By 3 1/8 high. So they're wide, but they're not quite as high. check your pattern. If you're going to use this side, you don't want it to be upside down. That's one reason I picked one that's not pattern specific. And that's where these 4 are going to go. Hello, gal. This will be fun to hide some jelly beans in that basket too. Oh, you know what? Oh no, I did cut that. It didn't look like I cut it. Of course I cut it. I wouldn't have been able to bend it, right? And I love that basket weave. Who decorates for Easter or spring? I like to do both. I like to do the spring, then stick some Easter things in there. And then I can remove the Easter and keep the spring until summer arrives. And I love decorating with the, how the tiers are in style. So this is really cute. This will fit in my tier. I have kind of a bigger one, but it really is awesome to put handmade things. I love in those tiers. And then also it centralizes your decorating into one spot. So you don't have to go clean it out. Oh, this would be cute for a Easter basket swap for sure. I never thought of that. If you're in a swap group with scrapbook paper, how cute. Yeah, Debbie, that was the thing too. My grandkids are around. So that's why I love that tier in the center of my kitchen, because then I can decorate and it's kind of all in one spot. Okay, like I mentioned, turn it this way where our X is, if you made the X like I did, because if you want to decorate it now, do your matting, you certainly can. But remember, it's not going to quite fit because you mitered that corner. So looking at mine, I am going to hold off so I can bring it up over that edge where your cardstock might be. But I'm going to go ahead and do these 2 sides that we're not gluing on. This is just a plastic scraper. You can pick them up at your local hardware stores for like $1.99. They're the plastic scrapers for wallpapering or mud. And not only are they easier to handle, I guess we're going with the basket inside instead of the bunnies because I was not paying attention. But they're a great tool because they're more flexible. And they're cheap. Then you can buy more paper. And it's always good to spread that glue around if you're using a wet adhesive. And I did do the brads. I did the brads after I did the matting. So the brads are visible down in the bottom. And I chose to do it that way because I'll be honest with you, it's hard to hide brads. We all know it's hard to hide brads under our pattern paper. And so you can also glue them. I might glue I don't know, I haven't decided. If you use brads, so you can turn your wells, which is kind of cute, but not really necessary. Okay, we've got matting on. Now let's go ahead and reburnish. I always reburnish, as you guys know, because I want my box to be square. It takes just an extra second or 2, and you'll be happy you did. Hi, Lori. How are the boys? Okay, that's all we need to do. Now we need to glue our sides. And it does touch the bottom. throw a few clothespins in. I'm going to do now the opposite side. It will just make it easier with getting these two guys in. Again, it just sits at the bottom. Make sure your sides are perfectly even. Art glitter glue dries fast. Hello. Oh, you're a long way from us. So first I'm going to do this side. So we can kind of put them in together. Okay, that'll hold that while I fix my other side. See, I'm throwing tools today. Don't forget your clothespins when you're making boxes. It sure helps. Mostly it's my sides I'm wanting to make sure are together. Okay, I'll put my matting now on top. And that way it'll cover where we cut down on our cardstock. And Wilbur's here. Hopefully Wilbur will behave. He didn't behave yesterday. See how quick this comes together. And so I will give you a couple of tips here. We're not done, of course. The decorating is what, and our handle is next, is using some legs, or if you don't have any wheels or no means to get them, or you can even take little pieces of tree trunk. If you have a little tree out front, have somebody with a saw cut them down for really thin wheels. That would be cute. Tops. You could put legs on these, you know, decorative legs, like we did with the Valentine box. That would be really cute also, or you can just leave it sitting. But if you want to do wheels, a couple of different things. You can glue them. You can also just use one and have your cart sit forward. And it's kind of hard without, let's see, there. So you have to, that's the thing, you're going to have to get them even. So I'll be honest with you, this is going to take a little time there, but your cart will go back and forth. So you can do so many different things if you just want the one on each side. Now, the two, oh, that's my sparkly side. I didn't really measure. The only thing you have to do if you're going to use two is make sure they're both, it's hard to show you, they're both even on the bottom. They both has to be touching. Oh, so Mary is asking, is anybody else without sound? So the best way to do it is just to get these two, your first two, on here. And yeah, use your hands or get someone to help you. And I'm just making sure the bottom is level. Once I do, You can take your pencil in there. Mark where they need to go. Now I do a second check. This one's kind of hard to see where our pencil mark is. Like I said, it can be a little challenging, but I think we're okay. I have some brads that were just in my stash from old projects from way back when. They're different, but I've got 2 of each, so I'll put 2 and 2. I thought those would look really cute. Whatever you have to poke a hole. That's what we're going to do. And I'm using the textured. The wheels can be purchased at, well, you can cut them if you have a machine. You can purchase them at Hobby Lobby, Joann. See how cute? Or you can cut 2 circles. But you want to have a layer, you want to layer them about 5 times if you're going to just cut, circles with your circle dies. And I'm going to move that. It had an extra hole there. Get in there and spread those apart. Push pretty hard. But they do have wheels at your hobby stores. And they have SVG files you can download or buy. Or you can leave them off. Okay. I'm just trying to push pretty hard to get my wheels there. Now, this is the trick. I'm not going to tell you it's easy because I tried the measuring. I've tried everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some temporary dots. They're not going to last long. They're going to help me center this. So it kind of helps too if you have an extra set of hands. That looks pretty good. So this one should be hopefully pretty easy. Nope. You can tell by looking at the front, it's like way off. There we go. Much better. Let's see which I use the. And I know everybody, we as crafters have tons of leftover brads, all kinds of things in our stash. So they don't have to match perfect. Okay, something. Nope, they're both there. Now, if that bothers you that they're showing inside, like I said, with the Easter grass, they're not going to. You can cover it with a strip of paper. I can't get those 2 apart. Wow, that's not the stubbornest brad I've ever had. And you do need them to come apart or it'll just pull out if you just do one side. Wow. All right, let's help it open. Oh, well, that's why one side is down. Okay, that's better. Told you, it's throw your tools around day. There we go. I wish you guys could see. I know Wink Estella just, everybody says, I used Wink Estella. Can you? And no, you can't see it. But it's there, and it really does add some shine to those wheels after I did paint them. So I just used an off-white craft paint that I had on hand. So you don't even have to paint the wooden ones. And it's lopsided. And that's okay for the video because I'll fix it. I did have to fix the other and there was a hole, but this will cover it. This does need to come down just a hair. And so I will fix that. Actually, we've got time. Let me quickly make a new hole so you can see, just in case you make a mistake too, it will hide very nice. So let's try this again. So there's the original hole, and I'll hide it with one of the spokes and push it in a little bit. Makes it less noticeable. Covered the hole. There we go, with my spoke. Well, I'm way off today. It's still off, so we're going to just leave it as is, and we'll work with that later. Mine will have 3 holes. Like I said, it became a little challenging to get these wheels straight, but we'll get it. On the front, on the front is where I show that I already pre-cut from the cut aparts. For those of you that just popped in, from this cut apart, I fussy cut the bunnies and the Easter eggs. On the original one, I just used one of the 3x4 cards, but then I cut it down to fit the front. So this is 3 1/8 by 3 7/8. So you just want to cut it to fit. This was already 3 inches. So the bunnies are going to fit really well. And I did ink them, and I put like 3 layers of Wink Estella. I was determined this is going to show. I was about ready to get the glitter out. So I'm going to determine where I want to put my bunnies. Isn't that cute? Draw a line there that I can't see on the brown. And put the 2-in ones up. Oh, there it is. Now I see it. Should we get those little ears? I thought they were just adorable, these little guys. And I do want to get those ears down. I don't want them to tear off. Looks like we've got them. And my Easter eggs went hiding. It's fun to make your own embellishments. And also using enamel dots, you can really dress up those Easter eggs if you had some that match that are left over from other projects. So that will be the front of my little flower cart. Now let's go ahead and make our handles really quick. For the handles, I just took a sheet of the brown 12 by 12. And I made them a little bit, I think, big for this one. So I'm going to make them just a little bit smaller. And they are going to, oh, that's not my cutter, be 4 inches long. But I'm going to cut, I did those an inch. So I'm going to cut this at 1.5. I'm going to make them a little bit smaller. And then you want 2 pieces that are 4. But let's go ahead and score this so we don't have to score both pieces separate. And we're going to score, if you cut it at 1.5, we're going to score it at 3/4. It's going to be, we're going to fold it in half so it's stronger. And mine are 4, but you definitely can adjust the size to what you're needing. We'll go 4 inches, and you'll need 2 of them. We're going to glue them together. Hi, Rosie. How are you? Well, I have to tell you, hopefully, in Utah, I know it's been going around a lot of states. We're hopefully going to stay on the time change here. Now, I guess we're in Mountain Standard Time now. No, Daylight Savings Time. I'm hoping that it stays and maybe we'll all be on the same schedule. Oh, I know, Debbie. I'm so sorry, but I just knew we had to have, I had to have this because it's so cute. I just glued mine here, and you'll have to tuck it underneath the will just a hair, but it's pretty much hidden. You can also cut it and taper it. And I'm just going to glue up approximately 1 inch. And that will sit right under your flat. And it does sit under my wheel just a little bit. And then I have the cut side down. You know, and you might want, depending on the wheels you use. So this is how I make sure it's straight. Depending on the wheels you use, you will want to maybe put your handles on first. And also, like I said, get creative. Go out to the wood pile. Grab some stuff from the wood pile. Anything you want. Shred that up just a little bit more on the edges. I already cut the flower. And we made flowers last week on our last project. So I did my flower the exact same way, and I used the pink. I'm going to have a pink flower right here, but we're going to take off the edges of our score tape. If you're going to put any pom-poms, you can do lace. You can actually cut a border with your paper and your border punch. Almost did that. And I thought, no, I'm going to use the pom-poms. So what I did, oops, there is a right side to these little guys, I noticed. I just layered it over, and then I cut it to match. Making sure you have sharp scissors. I know, Mary. And I'm the cutest things too that we can decorate our home with are things that we make that are very actually simple. I'm just evening it up with the sides. And then you could actually layer that up. Another one underneath would be super cute. You can cut these off also, just so you know. You don't have to have this edge. If you don't want it, then you can just score your paper differently instead and make it 4 inches all the way around. And our last piece. And you can also glue them down. You can do so many things with this little box. Fix that better. Now, to give my flower more of a platform to sit on, I'm just going to grab a foam dot. Add our adhesive. And then I just put it on the corner. And with my little punch, I punched a hole in the handle. Just down here at the edge. Nothing really precise. I just wanted a hole in there because I took my twine, doubled it up a lot to tie the bow. So I just took it through the handle. Let's double it again. Instead of tying it around the handle. So mine's 4 layers because it's really thin. Now you're going to tie a bow, make it a little big, and we're going to knot it so we can fan it out in just a second. Just like so. Pretty cute, huh? Then you can add all your grass. But I did go a step further with the leftover dots I had, and I can't even tell you, I've had these forever. We're just going to add some around to make them look like Easter eggs. And this one was perfect. My doll ones. Add some pink. Just anywhere you want. I thought I had some little blue ones. I have so many little things in my embellishment box that I lose them. Pink. And I did put one on each handle just to look like hardware. Let's go. It's hard to choose. The colors are so pretty. I always use art glitter glue to make it permanent. Well, hi, Pamela. I didn't know if you were there. Hi, Martha. And again, just to kind of dress up these sides, I added some dots here and there, even on the lace with my art glitter glue. I must have used the light blue from something else. So we're going to go a little bright. Now, if you want, you definitely can add more cut aparts. You can definitely add flowers throughout your whole box. I did just do, like I said, the grass for now. And I actually, for the picture, have some little bunnies that are hand sewn that were stuck in here. But they're back upstairs because Wilbur was getting into them. So you can add your Easter eggs. And you are now all set for Easter. You've got your little flower carts. And we also have a group, Everything Authentique, that we'd love for you to share your finished projects with so that we can see your finished Easter carts or flower carts. And everyone can see them. And also on Everything Authentique, you can see more of what our designers do between Authentique and other companies. And lots of pretty paper. So thank you, everybody. And I'll see you next week right here on Authentique.